Back on Economic Buzz, this program can also be viewed through Startup Asia Channel 121 Singapore with me, Erwin Suryabrata. This is Mr. ARIEF Hidayat, Business Development at PT CEVA Logistik Indonesia. How very interesting when you mention, like, when we do this kind of a rough survey, the fresh graduate from the reputable university, let's say, like in which business line or business sector they are work or interested the most in terms of involving on work with. You said, like, in this logistic industry in particular, probably it has like very low rank of fresh grade, low interest. I've been wondering about this, like, compared to the other business sector, how promising, how prospective actually by the time I'm involving myself in this particular industry, logistic. In our introductory remark, our visual footages, the logistic industry is being portrayed or being depicted as something super complicated, related to many doors, time consuming. And what is your opinion in terms of promoting your business, Mr. Arif?
Well, let me get things first. People perceive of logistics as less attractive, less sexy than oil and gas, than investments, than everything. Because, well, let's just say it, we are just at the limelight. We are at the back, behind the screen. When you get your camera ready here, before it comes here, you don't even think where it was bought from, how to move this camera from, which country is it? Is it from
Germany?
Germany, yeah. How do you do
the
that?
country?
Yeah, but I mean, you never think about that. And that's what's happened with logistics. People do not really think and do not really understand that there are lots of complexities behind it. It's a simple one. What's the objective? Moving one thing to one goods from one point to another.
From point A to point B.
That's it. It's only just between these 2 points. It depends on what are the landscapes, what are the how it is being, what are the obstacles that you have to go through, and this needs planning. And then there are time constraints and everything. And people do not think about that when they first think about logistics. They think, how difficult is it? Just give it up. You know what's the most difficult part of an e-commerce right now in overseas? And also being faced by the e-commerce players in Indonesia, the one that's just trying to start up, is getting their goods to the customer.
Delivering them.
Yeah. Creating a website is good, easy. Getting the customers to click and buy the goods is a bit more complicated, a bit more difficult. But then delivering that clicked picture to the actual goods, the real physical thing, to the customer.
That's the challenge.
That's a challenge. Yeah. And so people do not really see this, and people usually they do not even think that this needs planning. And if you don't plan carefully on everything, on these every steps, then you will incur more costs. And that's what we are trying to minimize. We want to deliver the good faster to the customer's premises with the most efficient cost and cost the most effective way. And also managing the goods. When you are drinking, not drinking, let's just say, when you are buying your handphones, right? Do you understand that actually the cost of the handphones is already including the logistics cost of procuring it from, let's say, this country, BlackBerry, from China, procuring from China, and then clearing it, customs clearance, and then storing it in the warehouse, and then making sure that the goods are being stored properly and being managed properly in the warehouse, and the defective goods are being screened properly in the warehouse, then delivered to the stores, to the distributors before it goes to your hand. That requires planning from one end to another end, but with different milestones.
All right.
So that's how complicated it is actually, and it needs actually to make it more efficient and more effective. It needs a bright mind.
Alright. Again, we talk about the human resources support as well. Another second half of the talk show to discuss more about what is actually CEVA Logistic Indonesia. After this one, sir. Make sure you are still with us on Economic Buzz. We are going to discuss more about logistics industry in Indonesia. Stay tuned on Economic Buzz, MNC Business Channel, and StarHub Asia.
Don't miss Movers and Shakers on MNC Business.